For months, the Clark County School District community's been telling us staff shortages within their schools are getting dire. The district even calling school off for a so-called 5-day pause because of, quote, extreme staffing shortages when Omicron was surging in early January. A staffing shortage affecting several positions, including but not limited to teachers.
I'll be lying to you if I said it's not stressful.
Bus drivers.
We're standing outside getting a sunburn, just wondering when a bus is going to show up.
And substitute teachers, just to name a few.
The children are suffering.
But the irony is that seemingly overqualified applicants, teacher, sub, and bus driver hopefuls, tell Fox 5 they're being shut out of CCSD for undisclosed or unfair reasons.
We've got people that are obviously qualified. What's the problem?
Meet Gerald Bradshaw.
They're obviously talking about how much they need help in the school district. My wife said, hey, why don't you do something useful and give back?
Giving back is something he's done much of throughout his life. Bradshaw served in the Air Force for 22 years before flying airplanes for Southwest Airlines. Now retired, the Las Vegas local thought he'd start the process to become a substitute teacher.
Paid the fee to get my license, I think, which is about $120.
He has a master's degree, exceeding the state's academic requirements. After they collected his fingerprints, the state ran a background check on him. The state of Nevada granted Bradshaw his substitute teaching license in October of 2021, and he applied to CCSD thereafter.
The website comes up and says something along the lines of, thank you for your submission, we'll be back to you shortly. And after about, I think, 3 weeks to a month, I decided to go back on the website and just do some searching, and there was a small little thing that had said, thank you for your submission to CCSD, but we've decided to go further with other candidates.
A thanks but no thanks, with no follow-up or reason.
Never been fired from any job, I've never been let go, I've never been disciplined. I don't know if it was because of my military background. I don't know if they think I'm too old.
It's the lack of transparency in Bradshaw's rejection that others say they're experiencing as well. Mark Robinson, a former teacher who actually used to teach for CCSD, has a master's degree in education and an active Nevada teacher's license.
I've got 19 years teaching experience.
But after taking a break from teaching, he applied to be a bus driver.
I've seen the issues that the CCSD has been going through, and I thought that I'd, toss my hat back in the ring.
He says he has a clean driving record and attached a copy of his 10-year driving record per CCSD's request when he applied November 5th. No CDL needed to apply. But this is the response he says he got to his bus driver app on November 18th, 2021, writing, after a thorough review, we regret to inform you that your file is not among those to receive further consideration. We hope this clarifies the district's decision that your file will not receive further consideration for employment. Clarity is the last thing he says he took from that. Did they say why?
No, they have never said, they've never answered any of my emails, and I have never had a black mark against me.
As I reported in early January, the district told me that for any applicants seeking follow-up, there is an appeal process one can pursue. So after seeing my story, Robinson decided to do just that. He was shocked when he says they wrote back saying this. As part of the application process, you signed a civil applicant waiver stating that you waive your right to inspect, review, copy, or receive any of the information provided by any person or organization. As such, I am unable to provide you with a specific reason for why your application was removed from the process. I've asked the district communications department for an interview with Chief of HR Nadine Jones 9 times over the course of the last several months, and my requests have been deflected or ignored each time. A communications professional did call me to tell me they cannot provide us with information on individuals' claims because of privacy laws.
I think that the applicants deserve some kind of answer as to what makes them not qualified.
But it's not just reasons undisclosed keeping licensed teachers out of the district. It's also reasons that educators like Mary Marshall Lang say are unfair.
This requirement should be removed for everyone. This should be addressed by the board.
She has an active Nevada teacher's license and 2 master's degrees, including one for education from UNLV in 2016.
I was the very first student to graduate with a focus in my master's in teaching English as a second language.
In 2018, she applied for a teaching job at CCSD.
My application was rejected because I didn't have classroom experience. I was blown away.
She says she does have experience. She student taught a 4th grade classroom to earn her bachelor's in education in 2012 and completed a required practicum for her master's 4 years later, where she tutored English language learners at the Clark County Library. So she sent an email to Jones, the chief of HR at CCSD,
and said, "What is this? And can you make an exception for me because?" And the response I received from her specifically states that we will not make an exception. You need to have recent classroom experience. And in her email, she suggested that I become a long-term sub with the district. And at that time, that particular principal could do an evaluation for me. And at that time, I could then get into the pool of teachers. However, I would like to get that position on my own merits. I am licensed and I am degreed.
CCSD told me Friday that applicants may be deemed non-competitive based on a review of the totality of their application, which includes work history, references, application eligibility check, and documents required. Applicants are not permitted to review correspondence or notes provided by other people or organizations. The CCSD application vetting and eligibility check process are designed to ensure every employee hired by CCSD has suitable qualifications to provide a safe, welcoming environment for students and their fellow employees. We will continue to follow the impacts of this school staffing crisis and how the district is responding. I'm Maddie White, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.